Alex loved stories. From a very young age, Alex found solace in the pages of books, where every word painted a vivid picture in their mind. Words were like colorful marbles, and Alex loved to roll them around, creating worlds with them. Each sentence was a new adventure, each paragraph a journey to a far-off land. Writing stories was as easy as breathing for Alex. The ideas flowed effortlessly, and the characters seemed to come to life on the page as if they were old friends. Math, however, was a different story. The numbers and equations felt like a foreign language, one that Alex just couldn't decipher. Numbers seemed to dance and blur in front of Alex's eyes. They twisted and turned, making it impossible to pin them down. It was like trying to catch smoke. No matter how hard Alex tried, the numbers slipped through their fingers, leaving only frustration behind. Alex just couldn't grasp them. Tests became a nightmare. The pressure of exams only made the numbers more elusive, turning each test into a daunting challenge. Still, Alex never let go of that passion for stories. Writing became a refuge, a place where Alex could be in control and create without limits. In a way, it became an escape from the confusing world of numbers. Whenever math became too overwhelming, Alex would retreat into the world of words, finding comfort and joy in storytelling.
Alex's love for storytelling provided a sanctuary from the daunting world of math. It was a place where imagination reigned supreme, and the only limits were those of Alex's own creativity.
"Write about your favorite place," said Miss Johnson, the English teacher. A mischievous twinkle flickered in her eyes. Alex grinned. This was easy. Words poured out of Alex like a waterfall. The page became a canvas painted with descriptions of a secret treehouse. It was a place where only imagination could take you.
Miss Johnson read the story aloud. The classroom was completely silent, captivated by Alex's words. The story wasn't just about a treehouse, it was about adventure and friendship. But then came math class, the one subject that seemed to turn the day into a maze of confusion. Mr. Thompson droned on about fractions, his voice a monotonous hum. Alex's eyes glazed over, unable to grasp the concepts. The numbers on the board might as well have been hieroglyphics, an ancient language that Alex couldn't decipher.
The test papers were handed out, each one a potential disaster waiting to happen. Alex's heart hammered in their chest, a drumbeat of anxiety that grew louder with each passing second. It was like being lost in a jungle with no map and no compass, surrounded by dense foliage of numbers and equations. The red F on the test felt like a brand, a mark of failure that seemed impossible to erase. Alex felt a pang of disappointment, a sharp sting that cut deeper than any physical wound. It was like a heavy weight settled in their stomach, a burden that refused to lift.
Math class was a constant struggle, a daily battle against an enemy that seemed unbeatable. It was a jungle of numbers where Alex felt utterly lost, a labyrinth with no clear path to follow. Every equation was a new obstacle, every problem a new challenge that seemed insurmountable. Enter Mr. Fibonacci. He replaced Mr. Thompson. Mr. Fibonacci wasn't like any other math teacher. He wore mismatched socks and a bow tie with polka dots.
Math, he declared on his first day, is not just numbers. It's a story waiting to be told. He chuckled, his eyes twinkling.
Alex was skeptical. A story in math? It sounded crazy. But something about Mr. Fibonacci's infectious enthusiasm sparked a flicker of hope.
Mr. Fibonacci's unique approach to teaching math began to change the way Alex saw numbers. Section 5, where numbers began to speak.
Mr. Fibonacci started to weave tales. He spoke about a lonely one who longed for company. Then came Plus, who introduced him to 2. They formed 1 + 2 = 3.
I was amazed. Numbers were no longer just symbols. They were characters in a grand play. Fractions became pieces of a puzzle.
Equations were transformed into recipes. Baking a cake, Mr. Fibonacci explained, needs precise measurements, and that's where math came in. Section 6, the magic of storytelling equations.
One day, Mr. Fibonacci announced a unique project. "Tell me a story," he said, using math.
My eyes widened. This was my chance. I wrote about a brave knight. He had to solve math riddles to rescue a princess from a dragon. Each solved equation brought him closer to his goal.
The classroom buzzed with excitement as everyone shared their stories. Math wasn't just about memorizing formulas anymore, it was a way to tell stories. Section 7. The Challenge of the Crooked Compass. But the journey wasn't always easy. There were times when Alex stumbled. Complex problems felt like unsolvable puzzles.
One day, while working on a particularly tricky geometry problem, I felt that familiar frustration bubbling up. "It's like my compass is broken," I exclaimed, feeling lost in a sea of angles and lines.
Section 8. A new chapter unfolds. In every student's journey, there comes a moment when a new chapter begins, filled with fresh challenges and opportunities.
Mr. Fibonacci smiled warmly at his class. His eyes twinkled with pride as he saw the determination in his students' faces. "Even the bravest knights need help sometimes," he said, handing Alex a colored pencil. His voice was gentle, yet filled with wisdom. He suggested a different approach to the problem, one that Alex had never considered before. It was like opening the door to a new world of possibilities.
Instead of seeing the problem as a jumble of numbers, Alex used the colored pencils to highlight the shapes. The colors brought the problem to life, making it easier to understand. Suddenly, the solution became clear. It was a moment of pure clarity, a breakthrough that filled Alex with confidence and excitement.
The next math test arrived. The air was thick with anticipation as the students received their papers. I took a deep breath and started working. This time, I felt a sense of calm and focus that I had never experienced before. This time, the numbers didn't seem so scary. They were no longer obstacles, but friends that I could understand and work with. They were characters in a story, waiting for me to guide them. Each equation was a new adventure, and I was the hero of my own mathematical journey.